places, and stories that define Mississippi's cultural identity. Now, next year, we will mark the 20th anniversary, a testament to the enduring power and worldwide influence of the blues. Now, before we move on to the program, I'd like to share a few exciting announcements. As I mentioned earlier, we have a few door prizes. So the first door prize, two door prizes, I have a mini BB King Lucille marks on it, and it's displayed at the table. So if you didn't get a chance to look at it, it is at our table. So all you have to do is sign up, sign that sheet, and receive your
The
raffle.
Mike magazine will be coming to you with more exclusive interviews. Guess who's going to be next? I guess we will never know. Stay tuned to Delta Sip. Angela Buckney here, the voice behind the mic. Delta Sip, where we sip slow and talk what we know. And if you need a commercial, let me know. Want to advertise? Not a problem. We have affordable rates. Call 662-207-2077. The views and opinions expressed in this channel are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they may represent or affiliate with.
About the artist or the place of the marker. Of course, this QR code talks about the BB King Museum, along with YouTube videos, and even a curated Spotify playlist. So make sure you scan that QR code on the top of the marker. Now, who has an Apple phone? Any Apple iPhone users out here? Yes. So if you have an iPhone, I need you to download the iPhone app. So this app is the Blues Trail app. Download the Blues Trail app right now. That app takes you to all of the markers all around the world, guys. So you can do your itineraries, you can see where they are, read about them the whole time. Make sure you pass that information along, that Mississippi Blues Trail app. All right, now enough with the commercials. It's time to get this celebration underway. Now, it is my great pleasure to introduce our first guest. She is a force to be reckoned with, or take a tornado in her heels. That's a big gap. Yeah. And she's the current director of Visit Mississippi. Please join me in welcoming Rochelle Hicks.
I'm always eagerly await to hear what Michelle has to say. So thank you, Michelle. And I just have to give Michelle a big round of applause. She was in Canada a few weeks ago, unveiling our marker in Kitchener, Canada. She just does an amazing job of putting all these things together and working with the local community, working with Malika and Robert. I just have to give all of them a big round of applause for all the work that they do to make these events happen, to make these markers happen. Alan Hammonds and his team, and Hammonds Associates, like there's just so many people and so much work that goes into creating these amazing markers that are going to be a testament to the Blues Trail and the Blues legacy for a long, long time. So thank you. It is truly an honor to stand here today as we celebrate a new addition to the Mississippi Blues Trail. I think Michelle's had 220, but also the life and legacy of one of the greatest musicians the world has ever known, Mr. B.B. King. The Blues Trail was created to tell Mississippi's story and to shine a light on the places, people, and the sounds that shape the genre, which then turned and shaped the world. And no story could be told without honoring B.B. King. From his beginnings in the Mississippi Delta to his rise as the king of the blues, B.B. carried Mississippi with him everywhere he went. His music was steeped in the soil of this state, and through it touched audiences from every corner of the globe. Born near Itabena and raised in the Delta, he first found his voice in church choirs and on street corners in Indiana, where he played his guitar. From those humble beginnings, he rose to play for presidents, kings, sold-out audiences across the globe. He influenced musicians across every genre, from Eric Clapton to U2, and he became rightfully the king of the blues. And yet, no matter how far he traveled, he never forgot Mississippi. He came home often to play, to give back, and to remind the world that this is where the blues was born. This marker is more than a sign, it is a testament. It tells future generations that this is where greatness was born, that here in Mississippi, we nurture talent, passion, and artistry that transcend borders. It reminds us that our heritage is living, breathing, and continuing to inspire right here at this museum where we're sitting today. tourism is all about stories, and we all know that Mississippi, we're the best storytellers that there are. Mississippi has no greater story to share than the blues. The Blues Trail honors the legacy of B.B. King and all the other 219 markers that we have around the world. The legends who shaped music will live on not only in our hearts, but in the hearts of those who travel here to experience it. Like Michelle said, we're super excited to continue to evolve the Blue Trail markers with the QR code, and that would take a visitor to the landing page for that specific marker, that then they can hear a Spotify playlist, they can watch videos, or see information about the museum. So we're really excited to continue to evolve our markers. We're grateful for the opportunity to honor B.B. King and the B.B. King Museum today in this way. We remain committed to ensuring that our Blue legacy continues to be celebrated. Today, as we unveil this marker, we honor more than a man. We celebrate a legacy of resilience, creativity, and soul that belongs to the B.B. King Museum and to Mississippi. His music lives on, his story lives on, and thanks to the Blues Trail, his connection to Mississippi will live on for generations to come. So today, we don't just unveil a marker, we celebrate a king, we celebrate Mississippi, and we celebrate the blues. So now I have the honor of announcing my friend and former tourism director, now semi-retired, sort of, Mr. Craig Ray, who is our director of the Mississippi Blues Commission. So, welcome.
Thank you, Rochelle. Thanks for having me here today. Always proud to represent the state of Mississippi in tourism and also the Mississippi Blues Commission. I've been fortunate to be on the commission on and off since the beginning, 2004, with many other friends of mine in the room that I see that served in different capacities over the years. So it's always an exciting moment to be at not only to be a part of the research, the development, the fundraising for the markers, working with the team, but then also to be at the event for the unveiling, wherever it might be. One of the things that I used to do, I could tell a little bit of the story. There's so many great speakers after me, so I'm going to say things that I know that y'all can't say. These are my stories. But what I would do, and I think many of my colleagues, it's always exciting to go to the unveiling, especially when the artist is still alive. And we made a point, Alan Hammons, Bill McPherson, the other members, Ingrid Scott, whatever, to try to get to the artists early, the ones that were older at the time. We started off with the program about 30 or 40 that we felt like were going to be approved markers from the scholars, and that was many of those were still alive. And so as we reached out, just a handful that we were able to get to, and these artists not too long after we met with them had their markers. They were Bo Diddley, Honey Quailers, On Top Perkins, just to name a few. And then of course B.B. King was able to see all of his markers except for this one today. He's with us in spirit, I know. As a matter of fact, what we would do, I would like to go and meet with family members or meet the artists. Sometimes I hadn't met the artists before for that moment. So it was always excited to be there, whether it's the Blues Trail or the country music trail that I'm involved with as well. So when I came in this morning, I arrived a little bit early. I wanted to get a feel for the museum. Again, I've been here a while. Haven't seen the new edition. Helped work on the new edition. It's just moving, as I always said. So trying to get some words together, and I ran into Robert this morning. He said, "Man, I got something I want to share with you." Great. He said, "You want to meet B.B. King this morning?" I said, "Always." Whether he's in spirit, he's still here. And he shared some AI technology that they're using, which was pretty scary and good. So Michelle and I got to speak to B.B. this morning. He said a lot of great things about what we're all doing. Glad to be here. Excited for the success of the Blues Trail. So I'm speaking through B.B. today to our new wave of artificial intelligence. It was very, very impressive. And I do always feel like his spirit was wherever we were with him at his events for marker. He loved the Blues Trail. if he wasn't at his marker unveilings, I'm sure he went back to the marker at some point. He spent a lot of time advertising for us, promoting the trail, talking about the trail. I know there was one particular marker that we unveiled in Louisiana, Buddy Guy. And Buddy's inspiration to be on the trail, because B.B. King told him about it. He wanted to be on the same trail that B.B. King was on. And so it's that marketing advertising you can pay for from the enthusiasm and spirit that he had. We started off with the Blues Trail, the commission 2004, and Haley Barber was governor at the time, and I remember him saying, let's see if we can get 30 or 40 of these markers. That'd be pretty cool. We didn't have any technology at the time, and I'll let Bill and Alan talk about that later. But we started off with maybe a radio station. You pull up to the marker, an AM station, you tune in, or maybe a CD. And this is marker number 2, and you press that and get some sound. And then, oh my gosh, emails, websites, apps, AI, just the technology that has kept this trail what it is today, where you have an experience wherever the market is. It's not where you jump out of your car and you see a sign saying that you can interact with the markets and share that experience. And B.B. King really made this market, what made this trail what it is today. And it's just fitting for us to be here in this beautiful temple museum built for B.B. King. It's so special. It's one of my favorite markers in this, one of my favorite museums here in the state. And I'm honored to be here today as we move to unveil the 220th marker. And the thought that we would, I remember the 200th marker we celebrated in the 200th anniversary of the state of Mississippi. And it was right outside of Clarksdale, Rocket 88. And so that was a wonderful time. And then too, thank you. Except here to get off the stage. So in conclusion, really excited to be here and just where we are with the marketing program, still adding markers in Europe. We added a very exciting marker in Liverpool this past year. And it's an exciting program. I look forward to hearing the words from all the other distinguished speakers today. Thank you all for being here. It's an exciting day to enjoy. Thank you.
Well, the band said we need to stop and start the music. I guess you can stop the program now. I do want to say, Craig had me thinking about a lot of things, and Rochelle want to talk about this. I feel that each marker unveiling needs to be an experience. And you said the word right, not just driving past. Some cities don't even, the young kids in the cities don't even know what that thing is. They pass it on to school. Jackson has 15, I think 16 markers. I'm going to try in a couple of years to do an education component to look where I go actually in the schools with someone like Mr. Sip is our youngest person who ever has a marker, and it is in Macomb, guys. He's a Grammy Award winner. I can actually take Mr. Sip into a music class and the kids let them play a little bit and let them get educated about what the past was, because the past is what is going to motivate the future. We have future B.B. Kings in our schools playing in the bands. We have future Mr. Sips and Mr. Allens and Big Allens and just the band members here today. Were you at the Club Avenue last night? Those guys jammed out, and I was just sitting there with all these ideas in my head of what we need to do. I want to do a blues trail camp. So we'll have a summer camp with kids, and they come together, and they already know how to play, and we teach them Jesse Robinson's, and they teach them music, and then they perform at a concert and show the music. So I have a lot of things like Craig and I talked about. The blues trail and the country trails are just moving forward with the AI. Speaking of AI, Craig, you can go ahead and retire because we're using AI now in your place at the meetings. You don't even have to be there. As soon as the words and you have it. So, the mistress of ceremony today, we had a little argument. And I said, you know what? I'm going to release my duties and let you be the party person today. And we pulled straws and she won. I I told her I thought I was the hardest working person I knew. But you know what? Being with her these last 2 days, I see that she is one of the hardest working people I know. Put your hands together and welcome the director of the of the Blues Museum, B.B. King Blues Museum and Delta Interpretive Center, Miss Malika Poser-Lee. Thank you, Michelle. Well, we didn't have to argue, we had a little discussion. But good morning.
Good morning.
On behalf of the board and the staff of the B.B. King Museum, I want to welcome you here today. I'd also like to take a minute to say a thank you to all of our state and local officials who are attending today and for their continued support. We have Representative Otis Anthony, Mayor Ken Featherstone, Senator Sarita Simmons, and Commissioner Willie Simmons here today. And even though Mr. King has 2 other markers on the Blues Trail, we think this one is special. Mainly because he's not only with us in spirit, but we are on hallowed grounds of his final resting place. The marker details how the museum came to be and what it has become through these 17 years, a beacon of hope through arts and education for our residents, and a place where visitors from all over the world can come and learn about a wonderful human being and a music legend. Today, we also take a moment to remember 2 of our founding board members who are no longer with us, Ethel Taylor and Mr. Carter Randall. Mr. Randall in particular played a critical role in rallying the community support in the early days. His dedication and leadership were instrumental in making this vision a reality. And we honor his legacy alongside the other founding members who will speak to you shortly. If you haven't already, I encourage you to take the time to explore the exhibits and watch the films. They offer a compelling look into B.B. King's life and a lasting impact of his legacy. We hope you all come away with a deeper appreciation for what a remarkable treasure this museum is, not only for our community, but for the entire state and beyond. Thank you. Now, I would like to introduce to you Mr. Bill McPherson, Jr., our founding president, and we just haven't let him go. We've kept him for like almost 20 plus years because he does such a great job. And so he's also our current board president and chair. Where is he at? Okay, here he comes, Mr. Bill McPherson.
Okay, hey everybody, 20 years so somebody else to do it. I want to start off, I was not a charter member, and I think the vision of the charter board was critical. I appreciate all of BB's friends, and then Jim Abbott was the next best thing to a black friend. And he trusted Jim, he trusted the people that approached him. And I think first, and this is what I've been told, he didn't really understand why you'd want to do a museum about him. And then when they kind of explained what it would mean to the children and everything he said, that was the beginning of quite a journey. Next thing I'm gonna do, and she's here, stand up, Leslie. Thank Leslie Leslie and Alan and I were shoulder to shoulder to this thing, and Leslie had put up a lot, especially Alan. But anyway, then there's just a lot of stories that happened that would just made this like a blessed project. Like, I can't believe that happened, or this wouldn't have happened. I mean, one of the things that happened pretty much right out of the gate is about this building. My office is back here, and I rode by this building for 20-something years, and I never even saw this building, did not know it was here. Somebody asked me, what was on the slide. I was at an old metal building right here with two shotgun houses right here. And it was like falling in, the roof is falling in. But the main thing is that's the engine room at the very back. And there was very little left of it, maybe a third of it. I didn't get that this morning. And we archived, this is the archives and history came, and they looked at our drawings, and we had a really nice architectural drawing with the whole museum. And that was not going to be a part of it. Wasn't enough left. We're just going to knock it off, and it was going to end right there at the entrance. And they said, no, that was the engine room, a very integral part of the history. You have to have it. And we're like, look, dude, $400,000 architectural drawing. It won't work if you make us do that little piece of crap that's hanging on the back. I don't care. They would not budge. And we're like, we have got to start over on the whole, that $400,000 is down the drain. Because the railroad track in the variance. And Alan knew that Roger Bell, he was the president of the railroad. And he called Roger Bell and told him about our situation. And we had a 12-foot variance to that railroad. There's probably not a 12-foot variance to a railroad in the planet. And we're like, and then it wasn't long after that that Roger retired, so that happened just in time. The next thing I want to say is that Alan and I worked probably almost 6 years, 5 or 6 days a week, all day, every day, which is quite a challenge when they've got two people together that are always right. My kids would like, Alan would call me and they would go, Dad, your boyfriend's on the phone. We're looking to go to a restaurant. And my wife said, you and Alan work that out? And my daughter goes, oh, Mom, you know love means you never have to say you're sorry. I was getting that kind of crap at home. But Alan was having so much fun. I knew if I called him at 11:30 at night, he was going to answer on the first ring. I probably called him 500 times at 11:30 at night. He was always working on this project. We had to keep our best foot forward on the project because these managers are from New York. He was very skeptical of us because we're a small town. We don't talk correctly. We're not very smart. It's a brand and mess it up. Mm-hmm. So we had to bring in the best in the country. We were very fortunate to be able to get the best in the country. And a lot of it was because some of them were from Mississippi. The guy who helped us put the stellar team together from Natchez, and he had been part of putting the master plan together for Disney Tokyo. The fundraising helper who we thought when we hired a fundraising company, we were done and he gonna raise all the money. He didn't go on a single meeting with us. He just told us what to do. And he just researched who we were going to see. And but anyway, we got the president of that company. And he had a lot of minions that worked for him. It was a big company. We got the president of that company because he was from Grenada. With Gallagher and Associates, they were working on a $300 million World War II museum. And here we are, $15 million. And we talked to the president and the number 2 guy daily and weekly, in spite of them working on that big museum, because the number 2 guy was a guitar player. So we were really fortunate on that part. I have to really thank Carol Puckett. You know, you have a board member, and I don't think any of the board members would be opposed to me calling her the MVP of the board. She's not one of the most valuable players. Her connections as a board member to Blue Cross, and thank Carol Pyatt, the CEO of Blue Cross. We get $2 million from Blue Cross. This doesn't happen without them. Her relationship as a board member of the Mississippi Arts Commission, her friendship with Donna and Carol Barksdale, it's all of that, which is, we wouldn't have a museum without Carol either. So I want to just recognize her. Carol Puckett Palmer now, Mary John Palmer. And this was, trying not to talk when I've got to believe the story. I'm gonna leave that out. I'm gonna leave that out. You know, but no, I'm not. I mean, me and Alan are at a steering committee meeting, and Reuben Anderson with Phil Stumhard is the chairman. And the steering committee is a group of about 15 men, and they're like presidents of the banks in Jackson, CEOs of all the big companies. And we would meet with them, and they would not, they were key to the fundraising. They didn't go on meetings with us, but they got us in the door. They would call and set it up, and then people would see us because of these people. And we were about in our third meeting with him, and Alan's cell phone goes off. And he takes it, and he goes out in the hall, and I'm like, "Nigga, I'm gonna kill him." I can't believe it. And he goes out there, and it's Tina France, the vice president of BD's management team, and she goes, "You know, Jim, Barstow, and Donner are in Cotton Aspen, and they want to go hear BD tonight." And so this is Donna, so he calls Tina, and Tina says, "Okay, and Tina calls Alan back. BD's not playing in Aspen tonight." So he did some more phone calls, but he's playing at a private party. They got him in the private party. He had to stand up the whole time, but they got him even got him in the private party. And so then we called, I think Willie, the road manager or whatever with DB, who never took our phone calls, who never did anything we ever asked him to do. We left the voicemails. Mr. Barksdale's there. We just, Donna, we really need you to get him on the bus. We really need him to talk to BB. He gave us $500,000. You know, please get him on the bus. Well, they got on the bus, and he talked to BB about 45 minutes, and he tried to get up. And BB pulled his sleeve down and said, "No, don't go, I'm going." They talked about fishing, you know, whatever. And Jim just kind of fell in love with BB, and he says, he looked at Donna, and he goes, "Donna, you know, BB needs to see this while he's still alive. What does the museum need before to you know, get this thing open?" She goes, "I think we're about $2 million short." He goes, "I got you covered, BB." We were a couple of months from opening, and we had an opening day, and we were that short.
Wow.
And I was like, I
Wow.
couldn't believe what was going to happen. We were like, "We're not going to finish the theater. What are we going to do with the money?" So anyway, I think that was the story worth telling.
It was.
But anyway, in closing, I want to talk about Malika's first meeting with Gallagher. And I told Malika all the way through this, I said, "Malika, this has been the most enjoyable, exciting project because it's fun to be the dumbest person in the room. Every time you're in it, dumbest person in the room." So Gallagher shows up with your team, and I said, "Malika, you ready to go in here with me? And we'll be the dumbest kid in the room." She goes, "Yeah." And we go in there, and we show them the architectural drawing that was expensive, showing the grave site, you know, rendering what they proposed. And the number two guy that was the guitar player, he's over there just scratching away on a little piece of paper and just scratching away. And in about 5 minutes, he goes, "Well, how about this?" He pulled out the drawing of big metal panels with the songs, water jet through it, and then the slats, the faux wood slats. It was just like, wow. He just did, you know, the architect spent, I don't know how long, how much money, but he just sketched it out. He just, I think it's one of the coolest grave sites ever. And then we got out and said, "How about being the dumbest person in the room?" "Oh, man, that was an awesome meeting," you know, like that. So anyway, it was a difficult ride, but it was probably the most enjoyable thing I've ever done. And I'm really proud that we're getting the mark, and I appreciate everybody. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do next. I'm done.
I apologize. I have to go back in the room and welcome Mayor Ken Featherstone.
Good morning, everyone. I am Mayor Ken Featherstone. I bring you greetings on behalf of the city of Indianola, on behalf of the mayor's office. Just want to thank everyone that traveled in from out of town. Welcome to the city of Indianola. We are so delighted to be here today. I look out in the audience, I want to recognize our former mayor, Steve Rosendahl, who I know you rolled up your sleeves. You've done a great job.
Yes, he did.
Being a partner with the B.B. King Museum. The thing I love so much about B.B. King, having met him, having seen him perform for years, is BB went around the world. He traveled, he played and performed for kings and queens. He played for prime ministers all around the world. And he had this uncanny ability to never lose the common touch. He will always have time for you, always rendered himself, especially for the city of Indianola. I love B.B. King and football. I'm going to tell you what both of those have in common. Both B.B. King and the game of football has a way of transcending racial boundaries. I love the season because we all put our differences aside when our favorite team hits the field, when B.B. King takes the stage. Anyone, I look out and I see my good friend, Dr. Alfonso Saunders here. When they take the stage and they're able to perform their craft, it makes all of us, they take us to a place where we can enjoy and appreciate this genre, which is ours. Next thing I want to talk about is I want to hats off to and a round of applause to Director Malika Polk Lee, the director of the museum. You may not know it, but this day didn't just happen by itself. Good things rarely happen by itself. You have to purpose them into being. I've had the pleasure of sitting in on a number of planning meetings with Malika and her staff. Ladies and gentlemen, they have rolled up their sleeves and you're seeing a lot of what they have done, all the hard work that you're going to see today, this weekend, as well as the rest of this month. I see my good friend, Mr. Jim Abbott here. Haven't seen this gentleman in years, so it's so good to see you. And again, the reason and the purpose and the meaning for B.B. King is that he has this ability to bring people together. So we're here today. We have a wonderful historical marker unveiling that's happening today. The city of Indianola, we have only skimmed the surface in terms of telling our story. We have so many colorful characters that have embraced the history and our heritage. And we plan on telling our story. Right now, we have a beautiful mural that's underway right now at Turner's Grocery. It highlights one of our people that we love here in town, Mr. Hambone Brown. So you're going to see more of that all around town in terms of people that helped out in the blues genre, people that have helped out in civil rights, people that have helped out in so made their mark on our town and on the world in such a significant and impactful way. So thank you all, and I thank you so much for including me in this presentation. I can't wait to see the marker as well as the rest of you. We are going to take Indianola higher and higher. This is just the beginning. And again, hats off to the B.B. King Museum and the Delta Interpretive Center for all the hard work. A lot of times I think that's a problem we have, and Malika, you and I talk about this all the time. We're all doing good work, from the museum doing good work, from City Hall doing good work, from the chamber doing good work. And a lot of times we find ourselves working in silos. So
this is why this is so important, so we can all come together and collaboratively to move Indianola and the Delta Force and the Blues further. Thank y'all so much. God bless you.
I haven't seen her. Is this Gloria Dickerson here? I think she is. Okay, we're gonna keep moving through the program. Mr. Randall is not able to be here today. He is in his regards. He had an issue coming up, so we're gonna move on to Mr. Jim Abbott.
Thank you. Wonderful being back. It's wonderful seeing so many familiar faces. And a lot of you know that I'm a lover of history. And that's what these markers are about. And I just wanted to mention that back in 1985, I happened to be on the Indianola Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. And I remember there was one meeting and there was discussion about B.B. King having given a Lucille guitar to the Pope and to the President and to the city of Las Vegas, but he'd never given one to his hometown. And so they knew I was kind of a close friend of B.B.'s, and so they instructed me to tell B.B. personally that Indianola was planning on erecting a Magnolia, one of the Mississippi Magnolia historical markers. And that in return, we kind of hoped that he would give us, give Indianola a Lucille and two of his grannies, and we would display those in the Chamber of Commerce office, and maybe some blues fans would hear about that, and they would come to Indianola and see that, and so Baby said, yeah, that's a good deal, that's a deal. And so I immediately started typing up some suggestions on what would go on that marker. And I realized I didn't know how many words could be. And so I phoned the director of the Mississippi Department of Archives and History that ran that program. And the director, Albert Hilliard, patiently listened to our plan. And then he said, however, Jim, he said, I'm a big blues fan and I love Libby, but I hate to tell you that none of our historical markers are for living persons. And a person must be deceased. And so I had to tell Libby that. And of course, we were really disheartened that that was the rule. Libby cracked up. He said, I don't plan to die anytime soon. In fact, it would be 30 more years before he did.
Wow.
Then one day, about a year or two later, I got a phone call from Evan Roden, the owner of the Crown Restaurant downtown. And Evan said, come down, I have something to discuss with you. So I went down and sat at a table, and Evan said, I've been thinking, we need a B.B. King museum here. By the end of the next afternoon, we contacted Randy Randall at Planners Bank, local attorney Carter Randall, who else was there? Yeah, Ethel Williams, a close friend of BB's, and worked at Planners Bank. And the five of us knew nothing about the museum. So we contacted the state, and the state sent a museum expert up to spend a full day with us and told us all about the ins and outs of the museum. So then we started composing a letter to BB. And we sent a 4-page single-spaced letter to BB dated August the 1st, 2000. That's exactly 25 years ago last month. We sent this letter to BB telling him our host that we wanted to honor him with a museum here. He didn't respond. We didn't get an answer. And then a couple of months later, when he came home for the annual homecoming, as soon as he stepped off the bus, he came over to our group of 5. without hugging us and shaking hands or anything. Of course, he apologized for not responding to us. And then he said, no, the answer is yes. And we said, oh, we were so happy. And they said, well, BB, could we be the King Museum? And he said, yes.
Wow.
And so that was the beginning of what would evolve over the next 8 years into the, what is it now, $15 million?
18.
Museum. It wasn't the efforts of the original 5 folks. It was a lot of these other people that are getting ready to say something. And hundreds of others. It was such a great story. It was a collaborative effort. The donors, and all these other important people that led it to the grand opening in September of 2008. And so BB didn't get his Magnolia historical marker. He got two Blues Trail markers. But the main thing is that he got to see this museum.
Yes.
While he was still, before he deceased, he got to go through the museum several times and enjoy it. And that was really, when you think about it, that's so special.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree, Craig, with some others have already mentioned that I feel like he is with us today. It's out there in the Memorial Courtyard and accompanied by that smiling bronze statue floating Lucille. And I'd just like to say bravo to Malika, current board of directors, you know, the Sunflower County continuing to support this museum. It is truly a treasure. Thank you.
I've been informed that Ms. Gloria Dickerson is here, and I would like to call her up for a few minutes. She's the president of the Sunflower County Board of Supervisors.
Patrick, what time is it? Is it afternoon yet? It is?
So Steve.
All right, good morning, everybody. And thank you all, thank the staff for inviting me to this special occasion of the unveiling of the marker. I'm so glad to be here, and on behalf of Sunflower County Board of Supervisors, I say congratulations. This is a historical event, and I always love to come to events like this. It reminds me of when I was growing up in True, Mississippi, in Sunflower County. And it reminds me of my mom and my dad and my sisters and brothers when we used to listen to B.B. King. And we used to sing to ourselves, the thrill is gone. So it's not something that I'm just up here from Sunflower County saying, I'm going to a mark of an unknown person. It seems like it's a known person. It's a person from our homeland, from our county. And it is an honor to be up here to talk about B.B. King Museum, and then I'm going to the marker. Like I said, I'm a little bit late, but God's sitting me here. I was on my way to Indianola anyway, and I got the phone call, and I said, oh, I'm in Indianola, I'll be here in 6 or 7 minutes. So, glad to be here. Glad to see all of you all here. Glad to be in this beautiful museum. It's a wonderful museum. I'm so glad to serve Sunflower County. And I'm so glad that we've been talking about reaching out so that we can serve more of Sunflower County. So I'm thankful for that also. So with that, on behalf of the board, the Sunflower County Board, thank you all for the invite. We are so proud of Indianola. We are so proud of this museum, and we're ready to showcase it to all of our visitors from all over the world. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
How about how Mr. John McWilliams about?
Good morning. Good It is still going. We're not running too far behind, I don't think. I just, Malik asked me if I want to say anything, and I said, yes, I do. And what I want to say is how really proud I am of this museum and all of us for any little part you may have played in it. And I had the privilege of playing a little big part. And I want to tell you a couple of things that happened. And some of this may dovetail in with what Jim said. I didn't know anything about it. Randy Randall called me one night and he said, we got a group and we're thinking we're gonna have a B.B. King museum. We want to do that. We think that'd be good for our community. We need some legal help. Would you be willing to do that? I said, well, sure. And then he said, well, we ain't got the money. And sure enough, they didn't have any money for a long time, long time. But it was such a ride. I just can't believe it, you know. And he said, we're thinking about getting this small building somewhere downtown, and we think we might could get a couple of suits of clothes from BB and have that on display, and maybe we think we might get a guitar. So I said, well, I'm glad to help. That was a great deal. Before I could even turn around, really, somehow the inspiration just shot off like a rocket. And it was hard to hold on through. Things were happening that fast. Well, the first thing I did, they said we need an entity. And so I just signed my name and set up a Mississippi corporation. I said, this is what they're going to need. So I set it up. And it was called the B.B. King Museum. That's it. Well, not long after that, for the first time, I met B.B. King. And he was here, and he was talking with all sorts of people and having a good time. And I was sitting kind of pretty close to him. And when he was where nobody else was talking to him, he looked at me and he said, you know, I know you set up the B.B. King Museum. He said, you know, you can get in trouble for using my name without my written permission. And I thought, oh, God, what have I done? And then he looked at me and said, but you're not going to get in trouble. What a gentleman. He truly was. I just think he was one of the finest Southern gentlemen I had ever known. And for him to represent us in that way across the world, all of it means a lot to me. And so I'm thankful to him and his family and everybody who helped make that happen. Bill told some of the early stuff, but I thought to myself, just from a legal point of view, I was really out of my league with setting up that corporation and not even having his permission to use his name. That's how much I knew about intellectual property. So I was kind of happy when they said, we're getting the pros to do all of that kind of stuff. And they have. And I'm happy to have him to do all of that, because it's been more than I could do to handle the little stuff. And we've had so many challenges from the beginning. Things like there's so many problems with the construction. And one of the biggest things that you had to have a local guy to do was when B.B. passed away, I mean, there was nothing that would allow him to be buried in this spot. We had to immediately get that authorization from the city and the county. And so there's some things that maybe I had more of a part in than little, but most of it was always little. But it was always a challenge. And the thing that was so good about it was the board, the original board, and the subsequent board for running up to that worked together so well. I mean, there was a cooperation between the races who occupied this community that it was so inspirational. And that's how all of this happened and all of this got built. And I'm proud to have been a little bit part of that. And especially glad to see old friends here today who on that first board, William, Evelyn, Jim, and others. I just think it's a great honor to me. And so I'm proud to have been here and been a part, and a small part of it. And I hope that we all will understand that this museum presents a lot of great opportunities for us. We may be able to teach the world how to act better together. I hope we do. Thank you.
Mr. Adam Hanks.
On the Texas County, I'll say good morning and good afternoon. You know, every now and then something happens in your life that just sort of seems like you're having an out-of-body experience. Oh, the mic. I need to have the microphone. I can tell you the microphone. And Bill McPherson tells a lot of lies, and we truly did need marriage counseling. His wife insisted that it probably needed to do that. We hitched up our horses many years ago, and we literally traveled, the very land that's supposed to do. Oh, this is important. Hello?
He's taking it.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
No lies detected.
Y'all, that was me.
It better be. It better be.
He said, for each and every one of you, don't you think about leaving out there today without paying your respects at the memorial. Now, Malika, Robert, I told y'all that hologram was a bad idea. I told you. Seriously though, this was a labor of a lifetime, I suppose, and I'm still working on this thing 23 years after we started. And it truly is amazing to me. It's been a joy. I can't, so many people have said so many things, I don't want to be rude, but Indianola, Mississippi, great place, and what can you say? And I got to point out Wanda Clark. Wanda basically she sort of kept my business in the road, and she has been the queen of the Mississippi Blues Trail. She has cranked out mark after mark after mark. I'm just an idea guy. I have a good idea, and then I throw it to somebody else, and we see what they do with it. But Bill McPherson and I made a pretty good team, I guess, and we had a tremendous supporting cast of all the old board members. It was a joy to work on this thing, and I think it's time for us to go and live and work. Look, I want to tell you one thing. I'm going to comment less than then too. Bill mentioned the Forksdale. If you get the facts exactly right, and he's known to do that. So one day after we had been committed this $2 million in addition to $500,000 we had, I went over to Leslie's office, and she's the queen of details, and a former investment banker out of Boston, so naturally she makes sure everything is done. I'm sitting at her desk, behind her, in front of her desk, and I started looking at the stack of envelopes and just stuff on the desk. I'm just thumbing through the things because you never know what you're going to find. And there was this really nondescript craft envelope. And I thought, what is this thing? She said, well, it's junk mail. Well, I opened the envelope up, and to my great surprise, there was a $2 million check. So we looked at each other like, oh my God. And the next thing we did was we drove straight down to the bank and presented it to the teller. And she looked at the check and she said, is this real? And I said, I think it is. So it was a real journey. It's a journey that keeps on going. And all of the staff, Malik and Robert, we can't say no good. Everybody here has done a splendid job. And this, like I said, was a light of life. Thank you very much. Let's go on.
Before I call up Mr. King's Granger and Crystal, I'd like to call up Carver Randall Jr. To say a few words in honor of his father.
Randy. Pretty good.
Well, it finally is afternoon. I was hoping if I got up, it would be about 2 minutes till, so I could say good morning and finish before morning ended. You know, I think back on the process, and that's what a lot of people don't pay attention to. They tend to look at the finished product. But it makes me remember exactly how long ago it was when they started. I always remember, I'm tell a little funny story. The reason I know it was so long ago, I had the pleasure of serving in Enola as a police chief. And of course, this building was full of bicycles. It seemed like old bicycles that the police department had been finding in public works for like 100 years. And I always remember the persistence of Miss Leslie Lynn. She kept me on my toes. My secretary, like, Chief, right? Miss Lynn on the phone. She wanted to move on bike. You know what I'm saying to myself? I'm not going to have this, man. But anyway, I appreciate the persistence. It pushed me to get out there and sweat and get that stuff moving. But just like to say a few things about my dad. If anybody out here knew him, they knew 4 things that meant so much to him. Family, church, school/education, especially gentry and Mr. Devallo. Miss Polly Walker worked for BB, and she always talked about it. Dad would approach BB about giving Devallo some money. She told him, she said, well, Mr. Devallo, they ain't the only one that he gives money to. So she wanted to make sure she told him about that. And the 4th thing, Indianola. I always wondered whether the East Coast, West Coast, New Orleans, Texas, Dad would always speak about Indianola, Mississippi, where he went. You know, I'd go places, and you know, such a small town. You know, I would say, well, you know, we're down from Jackson. Dad would always speak boldly. He really loved Indianola. He loved the people here. He was colorblind, and he did a lot of work to make this happen, along with the other wonderful members here. And I hate to start calling names, but he will be so happy to be here today. And I'm proud to be here on his behalf, and I'll be remiss. I'd like to recognize my mother, Miss Rosie Randall, who was the Lynn and Gibson, and my sister Regina. So again, thank you for all, especially Malika, Robert, and staff. Crystal, I mean, we had the pleasure of being a part of our family for as long as I can remember. I got pictures with him when I was about this tall. Crystal, I see y'all talking about Willie. That's my brother. Y'all can call me. I think I got 2 of them. Willie came. Crystal and I had a conversation about him last night. He's kind of struggling with a little health issue, and we'll keep him lifted in prayer along with Crystal. But again, thank you for allowing me a moment, and let's enjoy the rest of the day.
We're happy that we could share this day with Mr. King's family, and in the form of Miss Crystal Young, Mr. King's granddaughter. We're going to invite her up down to say a few words.
Good afternoon. First off, I want to hear God praise. I want to say thank you, Lord Jesus, for allowing me to be here today. Thank you all for being here today. Today is very emotional.
Talking to Mike.
Today is very emotional for me for different reasons. I just beat stage 2 breast cancer.
Wow.
This time last year is when I got my diagnosis. And it was very stressful because this was a part of what I wanted to be a part of. I wanted to be able to be alive and help celebrate my grandfather's 100th birthday. So just to be able to be here today it's a blessing. I think I probably made my health a little worse than trying to make sure that I stayed alive to be here for his 100th birthday. I want to give a nice shout out to Malika and to Mr. Robert. When I say that his family, I appreciate everything they do for my grandfather's name. Like Mr. Randall said, we got family. I don't know what I don't know because they, I'm like, and I'm 47 years old now. I've been a part of their life, they've been a part of mine. Um, just to hear the stories that I've heard here today is amazing. All any of us, I think, ever want to do in life is to know that we were somebody, to know that we touched somebody in whatever way you touched them, you touched them. So to be a part of his legacy is just amazing. I know that if he was here today, he would be extremely proud. He loved his city. He loved his state. The state of Mississippi has done so much for him personally. Likewise, like this is where it all started. Without no Mississippi, there would be no BB. Without BB, there would be no blues. I remember he used to always tell us that he was the king for two reasons. That's because he was the king of the blues, and he was actually born with the name King. I live in Memphis, Tennessee. We're also in the process of about to name. We have a new highway crossing, and they're gonna name the highway crossing King Crossing, and they'll be doing that actually on his birthday, September the 16th. They're naming it King Crossing because between Arkansas, Tennessee, and Mississippi, they had the three kings traveling road, which is B.B. King, the king of blues, Martin Luther King Jr., which is the king of civil rights, and Elvis Presley, which is the king of rock and roll. So it's a blessing to be able to be a part of those legacies. I just thank y'all again for everything that you've done. I know if he was here, he would be excited. I want to thank people in Mississippi Valley for what they do every year in his honor. I just want to continue to see you all grow. Because if you all grow, it's that he grows. And if he grows, it's that means I grow. Because I'm a part of his legacy as well. Thank you again for having me. Thank you on behalf of the King family. We appreciate everything that you all do for us. But looking forward to keeping these connections going. I can't wait to see what this market looks like. And hey, y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Okay, we're getting there. We're almost there. We haven't been long. We're getting there. I just want to thank our current board members who are here with us and those that are not. Thank you for all your continued support. We couldn't do, Robert and I couldn't do what we do if the board was not as supportive as they are, so thank you. I also like to thank Visit Mississippi for this great partnership. It's been a wonderful time working with Michelle, and her attention to detail has been greatly appreciated to make sure this event went out without a hitch. I also like to thank the other sponsors who helped to make this happen. We have the Mississippi Blues Foundation, the Mississippi Blues Trail, Sunflower County, the City of Indianola, Visit Indianola, as well as, hold on, get my phone with myself, Dr. Luther and Bunny Brown, who also contributed. Thank you, and I'm going to turn the program back over to Michelle for the unveiling.
All right, guys, give a hand to all the speakers today. I mean, we have been crying and tears and giving these presents all day. It's not over yet. Don't leave. We have some great food. We're going to unveil the marker. And then we have the B.B. King Museum All-Star Band that's here. And they're going to do another jam session and rock out. We're just going to have a great time. I know that, again, we have 4 raffles. And then I'm going to let Malika or Robert let you guys know if you're not aware, especially our visitors. I want to let my team stand up in a second. But they have a whole week end and week activities, a hologram, a celebration tomorrow in the city. And I'm like, oh, God, I wish I could come back, but it's so many things. So if you can get back to Indianola for the BB King Centennial Celebration, that would be great. I want to give my team a shout out. I like them to stand. I have my deputy director, good cop, bad cop person. She's a good one. See, Teresa, what you did. Put your hands together. Welcome Teresa. Stand up, please. Teresa Matthews. She our deputy director of Visit Mississippi. We have Paige Robertson. She's new on our staff here. She's our project manager as well. We have Ms. Denise. Stand up, Ms. Denise. She's here. She's just new to our team as well. We have Ms. B.J. Lyle. She's here as well with the Welcome Center team. And of course, we met our director of Visit Mississippi. Anyone else here from Visit Mississippi? Oh, yes, Miss Sarah. She is in our marketing team, works in our marketing department. Love Sarah Warnock. She's here today. Don't forget to get many pictures. So what we're going to do now, we're all going to go outside in this nice weather here, and we're going to say 1, 2, 3, unveil the marker. Make sure we have a photographer here. We're going to get pictures. You can get pictures, but make sure to give the professional photographer leeway, because we're going to get those photos out the way, and then you can take pictures. Make sure you get the front and the back. And then we'll come in for a nice reception, good music and food. Again, thank you everybody for coming. And you want to say something? Or what is it? Oh, the raffle. He's showing me the raffle ticket, y'all. Let me do it again. The raffle will be done during the reception. Okay, so yes, again, check out, if you didn't get a raffle ticket, go ahead and do that. And let's go outside for this beautiful marker unveiling. Thank you again for coming out today.
Thank you. Hey, Ray, good morning. Hey,
Malika, how long did it take to organize this whole thing?
we've been working on this since last year. Yeah, because you have to get the marker through the commission, it has to be approved by Visit Mississippi, and then the artwork and all that. We started on this last year. We knew we wanted this to be a part of the centennial celebration, so we actually started that.
He and Emmett turned 100 together, huh?
Yes,
Emmett Till.
um, Mayor Evers too. Mayor turned 100 in July.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Mayor Evers turned 100 in July, and Mr. King would have been 100 in
On the 6th.
September.
The 6th.
Yeah, 16th, September 16th. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Huh?
Save the date, save the date, save the date. Celebrating 100 years of the life and legacy of the Honorable B.B. King. Join us in honoring the King of the Blues with special events in September. Experience live music and community celebrations that highlight his extraordinary journey, groundbreaking contributions to music, and enduring impact on the world. Remember to mark your calendar to save the date. For more details, call 662-887-9539. Okay. And we are headed towards Robert Terrell, everybody, following Malika, who is the director of the B.B. King Museum here in Indianola. We heard a lot of nostalgic stories from a lot of people who were there from the beginning. And, we know that there were some who were not here, Carver Randall being one. And I actually grew up in his home, right? His son was able to speak on his behalf. We are out here now. I got that part covered, Mr. Hammond. I know how to do that. Getting ready to get videos and pictures and so they are setting everything up. We got there's Anthony here. There's Anthony. How does it feel?
This is a great day.
You're local.
This is right. This is right. It's a great day for Indianola, Sunflower County, and the state of Mississippi. As we know, the blues was born here in the Mississippi Delta, and this is going to ensure that Mr. King's legacy lives on for generations to come.
Thank you. Crystal, how does it feel to be back in Indianola?
It's wonderful.
Founding members, and
granddaughter, let's come all around the marker here.
So they're setting everything up.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. So let's bring the founding members, Busy Mississippi Executive Director. Let's get the mayor, Malika, Craig, everyone stand around the marker. You can place yourselves. Let's get Paige. You'll help us from the front.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah, state representatives.
Are we doing? We're doing this side first, right?
Yes.
This side first. And then so we're gonna do this side first.
Yeah, no, we're just telling people to come in the front. Come in.
If y'all will gather, I'll.
Gather in the marker. Malika, Alan, come to the side, come in more.
So everybody is actually setting up,
Yeah.
getting ready.
Your sister they got held up in the inside. But we're gonna keep so we can get out and see.
More family members, Wanda. And we'll get many different kinds.
Can I have a break?
Come on, side.
Yeah, we need to.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Just feeling it.
Thank you.
Right here behind the. I got it.
They can't get a picture at this angle. It's up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can get it. So, well, this guy's making more. This person's making more room.
Good night.
Right.
Wait for it.
Maybe.
Right here. I'm sorry.
Wow. Yeah. Took a while.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so we're gonna put that.
Come on in.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah, if y'all will just squeeze in and there you go.
Yes, he's
Can
on
you
the.
see everybody that you need to see? Go in, okay, okay.
So I can't see. Can you get in between folks?
Can you see me? He's telling us we can't see.
Right. Okay.
Can you see?
Good.
Photographer right here.
All right. So Brenda. Representative, I can't see you.
Can I get in the picture? With Randy? Yeah.
Michelle, we can't see